Today we're going to be reviewing Poison Ivy number 3. I'm a little bit late, but I do want to keep up with it because I do want to see it out through the series. So from what I understand, it looks like the Poison Ivy series has been extended for another 6 issues. So that is very exciting. And I kind of saw it coming down the pipe because they did the same thing with Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was only supposed to be like 10, and then they went ahead and extended it to like 16 and stuff like that. So this was originally supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries, but I'm happy that they're going to decide to do it a maxi series up to 12. So yeah, man, anytime I get a little bit more information on that, we'll be doing that as well. Also, I'm going to be doing previews for number 4, man. And like I said, man, these covers keep getting better and better. But as we go deeper into the run, we're going to be seeing less and less ratio runs or ratio prints. So let's start off by talking about the best covers for Poison Ivy number 3. So in my opinion, this was the best cover. This was Joshua Middleton, all right? And this was not an incentive ratio. It's just a B cover or C cover, a regular price cover. And it just looks great. Middleton is so good with this. He has a very soft touch to it, and I believe he still uses kind of like traditional media. It's not like digitalized or whatever, at least not to what I understand. And this just looks great. Very realistic, very on point, and looks good. It looks good. So in my opinion, Joshua Middleton, that was the best cover. Now, is it the best cover on the series so far? I don't know, man. We got a few more contenders. I like the Johnny Frizen, and I still like the Dan Mora one from issue 1. So we're still out there. We're still fighting. We still have some new ones in the arena. Now, for you guys that have been watching the CBSI or the Hot Top 10 list, we did have the Seb McKinnon, the 1 in 50 incentive ratio. That is a beautiful cover, guys. Beautiful cover. It made the Hot Top 10 list. However, if you guys are actually looking to add this to your collection and you don't have it already, I would say hold off on it, because I don't think that this is going to be the Poison Ivy cover. Like, this is not going to be the one that people are going to be looking for years to come. No, this is going to be it's going to be cheaper down the road, in my opinion. All right. Now, it's nothing against the cover. I think the cover is beautiful. I think the thing about it is that it doesn't look like a Poison Ivy cover. It doesn't look like an iconic Poison Ivy cover. It's very artistic. I love the artistic style. I love how she's just looking at the rose and she's like, or at the plant, and she's just kind of like thoughtful, maybe mourning. I don't know, because it looks like the plant's kind of like dying or wilting. I don't know, maybe that's the way the plant looks. But in my opinion, I think that just because it doesn't look like if you look at the cover at first glance and you don't know what it is, you might not think of Poison Ivy right off the bat. You might think might be an indie cover or something else. So that's what I think about it. But it is a beautiful cover nonetheless. However, I would hold off if you want to add that to your collection now. I might add it on, but it won't be till later on. So let's talk about the I think this was the A cover, the B cover. No, this is the B cover, and this is the Artgerm, and she's wearing the armor and stuff like that. So excellent. So that's it, man. That's it for the covers. Let's get into the actual book. All right. So here we have Poison Ivy number 3, the Artgerm cover, written by G. Willow Wilson, and Marcio Takada is on the pencils. And here's the Sandman, still working on that. Again, Marcio Takada is doing an excellent job on these interiors, man. You can't really ask for much more than this, man. So here we have her kind of just floating in the water. I think this is kind of like Eden, because we know she had like a Garden of Eden underneath Gotham City during the James Tynion run during the Joker War, and that ended up being destroyed, which was right before her Queen Ivy storyline. And as we see, she is sick, right? She's infected with some kind of fungus or something. Now I want to see G. Willow Wilson and talk to her, because I could swear that she has had some inspiration from The Last of Us. If you guys are familiar with The Last of Us video game, it's with like a post-apocalyptic world where the zombies aren't actually caused by like a virus, but it's actually a fungus. So you have like these crusty clicking, monsters. They're like super crusty. They look like a crusty toenail. And
I think this is kind of where I was getting. So I was wondering if she has gotten inspiration by that, because I did see one of her TED Talks and she was actually talking about The Last of Us on there. So I was wondering if she's a fan of the game as well. So we have her out west, right? Ivy's out west, and you kind of see that she's kind of like on the fence. You can see that she has already made a plan that she wants to wipe out humanity, hit the reset button on the extension, but you can kind of see that at times she feels conflicted, and this is where we see her a little conflicted, where she has stuff on her mind. This is what she's got on her mind, right? And then she's got like this neighbor person who kind of like invites her to work on her yard, and you can kind of see Poison Ivy just going to work, man. And you kind of just see her, you know, she's narrating, she's kind of like unfolding, and this is kind of what I wanted from this Poison Ivy story. I wanted us to explore Poison Ivy a little bit more, because she's always kind of been a little bit, she's famous and everyone knows who Poison Ivy, recognize who it is, but I've never really read stories where they've kind of fleshed her out. Well, I have, but I was hoping we got more of it, right? We got more of what makes Poison Ivy tick. And here we kind of just see her go to work, and this is kind of like a, you know, it's kind of like taking a mental health day. Sometimes just going out doing some yard work, or just doing, you know, just whatever, some type of work, cleaning, whatever, that can be very therapeutic in itself. It can help you keep your mind off of things if you're being troubled. So this is kind of what we get from Poison Ivy, that her yard work, she loves it, she enjoys it, and she forgets the whole extinction plan for a while, right? But then she has time to come back to it. So, and then we get a little bit more of a philosophy of like the balance of ecosystems and life, and I loved it. I love that part. A lot of exposition, like I said. This issue was more of a slower burn than some of the issues, not a whole lot of action, and it's more introspective when it comes to Poison Ivy, but overall I think it was very enjoyable. And then we kind of get Poison Ivy getting back to life, back to reality, and we have her kind of hallucinating about these monsters, right? Because last issues we got a little bit of a taste of like that fungus corpse that was in the back of her van, and she was kind of like, did that thing move or not? So here it's kind of like it's coming alive, but we don't know if she's actually seeing this or she's just kind of losing it and hallucinating. So kind of looks like she's fighting, but then it kind of disappears, and it's just like, what was that? Did I make it all up? You know, so she's kind of she's kind of debating her insanity right now. She doesn't know what's what. So then we see her at the end. She makes it over to Idaho, and she is applying for a job where I believe that it's going to be part of her plan to initiate this toxin for an extinction. And then we see at the end how that tree that she planted just blows up, right? Vibrant and blooming and eternal. And overall, very slow issue, right? If you're action oriented, then this probably wasn't for you. I mean, I'm action oriented. I love action and stuff like that, but sometimes I want to get to know a little bit more about the character, so you can start caring a little bit more about Poison Ivy. So then later on, when we see some action, hopefully her fighting some villains and stuff, it has stakes to it. It has like a gravity to it, where you're like, you feel like you really care, and you're like, oh man, I hope she doesn't get hurt or anything like that, or is she really gonna die from this infection? So overall, this is going great. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. So far, so good. I'm glad that they extended this over the 12th series into a maxi series. So yeah, man, you guys let me know what you guys think about this Poison Ivy, if you're still rocking with it. I know a few of you guys are. Next, I'll be doing previews for issue 4. I'm telling you guys, those covers are man, like all the heavyweights are showing up for Poison Ivy, man. I'm really glad DC was wrote the checks to all these artists, so they can, you know, do the best of the best of the best, sir. So yeah, man, you guys stay cool, and I'll see you guys. All right, peace.